Coming to you from Annapolis, Maryland, home of the U.S. Naval Academy, the sailing capital of the world, home of the world's largest crab feast, and four signers of the Declaration of Independence. This is the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief, a daily roundup of local news that you can use, including local sports, local events, local opinion, and local weather from DMV Weather. Now here's your host, publisher of Eye on Annapolis, John Frenaye.
Good morning, it's Tuesday, May 15th, 2018. This is John Frenaye, and this is your Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. Well, if you attended or watched the Annapolis City Council meeting last night, you probably were very entertained. The City Council spent a good portion of the time being schooled by residents about the proposed budget and the mayor's more than 20% increase in property taxes. They also spent an awful lot of time explaining why no one knew how many people are actually employed by the city. In the end, the best guess is between 725 and 750 people. Several aldermen also gave different answers to a resident when asked why a fire truck and an ambulance responds to an emergency when only one or the other typically is needed. Neither alderman could figure it out, and the right answer for those that are interested is every firefighter in the city is cross-trained in basic life support. And there are many more ambulance calls, so it's quite likely that an advanced life support ambulance or an ambulance could be out on a call or not near the patient. They roll with a fire truck, which usually gets there first to be able to give basic life support. The ambulance can arrive later and take over or be released if there is another call. The council is in the midst of trying to wrestle with and approve the budget, which must be done by the end of June. Federal officials have approved an expansion of Maryland's all-payer health care payment model, Governor Hogan announced yesterday. Maryland has had a Medicare waiver for more than 36 years and remains the only all-payer hospital rate regulation system in the nation. And under the comprehensive model, care is coordinated across hospital and non-hospital settings, including mental health and long-term care. Resources are put into patient-focused care and enhanced primary care teams to improve outcomes. The plan also includes goals to address the opioid overdose issue, diabetes, and other chronic health conditions. It encourages and facilitates programs focusing on the unique needs of Marylanders based on where they are in the state and other demographics. The Annapolis Capital is reporting that former Mayor John Apostol, who was the first full-time mayor of the city of Annapolis, has passed away at his family's home in Georgia. He did serve 2 full terms. However, he resigned the mayor's seat just before the end of his second term when he moved to Florida to accept a job in finance. And apparently the resignation was due to the financial turmoil the city was left in, as his successor, Gustav Ackerland, committed suicide in City Hall shortly after taking office. In shopping news, in the ongoing quest to revive dead mall space, McKenzie Commercial Real Estate has said they are trying to sign one or several deals with physician groups to take the second level of the former Lord & Taylor store at the Westfield Annapolis Mall, which closed last month. Adam Notchless, who's a vice president at McKenzie, said, Westfield has found throughout the country that medical was a very complementary use to the malls, and it brings a lot of traffic. He said that Westfield asked them to seek medical tenants for the top level of the former Lord & Taylor because the mall is located adjacent to the Anne Arundel Medical Center. And we have heard also about some musical chairs going on in the mall. See if you can follow this if you will. Now that we know medical will go on top of Lord & Taylor, Forever 21 will be moving out of their spot and moving into the lower level of Lord & Taylor. H&M will be moving from their spot and moving into the Forever 21 spot, and Dave & Buster's will be a new business which initially was discussed about going into Lord & Taylor is going to move into the former H&M slot. The timing on all of those is yet to be determined, and it may still be changed as the mall continues to try to reinvent itself and make itself relevant to today's shopper. That's it for the top stories today. Make sure you check out eyeonannapolis.net for all of the local news stories. We update that constantly all day. And if you do enjoy this podcast, please give us a rating, or if you feel so inclined, leave us a review on iTunes or wherever you're listening to this. And, of course, if you think about it, recommend us to your friends, because that really helps us grow. So stick around. We have George Young from DMV Weather coming up with your local weather forecast, and he'll be here right after Sean O'Neill with RBC Wealth Management.
I'm Sean O'Neill, your local RBC Wealth Management Advisor. More than likely, the primary reason you save and invest is to achieve your life goals while ensuring your long-term financial well-being. But before you can determine your preparedness towards your goals, you need long-term answers to important questions about how much money you need, where it will come from, and how long it will last. RBC Wealth Plan, a new industry-leading tool, is now available to help answer these questions and develop your personal plan using a conversational approach. With RBC Wealth Plan, we can create a personal analysis based on these unique goals while offering you the ability to weigh certain decisions and determine what's best for you and your family. Call me, Sean O'Neill, today at 410-573-6723 for a complimentary consultation.
RBC Wealth Management, a division of RBC Capital Markets, LLC. Member NYSE, FINRA, and SIPC. This is Maryland. The weather can be nearly unpredictable. We've got George Young from DMV Weather in Annapolis to sort it all out.
Hey everyone, this is George with DMV Weather, and this is your Eye on Annapolis forecast for Tuesday, May 15th. Yesterday was a big weather day on the whole, with the presence of a significant severe weather event for the overall D.C. area, especially for locations in and around D.C. and to the south and southeast. And while it wasn't the big blockbuster of a derecho for Annapolis and much of Anne Arundel County like the last one in 2012, it was a big deal weather-wise. And today will bring more potential severe weather to the area, with warmer temps in the 80s to near 90 degrees, with the same stalled frontal boundary in the area that will once again bring the threat of more severe thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening hours. Beyond today, there will be a continued daily likelihood of showers and storms through the weekend that will add up the rainfall totals in the 3 to 5 inch range when all is said and done. So stay tuned each day for updates on expected showers and storms, and keep an umbrella handy as we work our way through one of the rainier periods of the year to date. Okay, that's it for today. This is George Young of DMV Weather. Stay dry out there today and stay patient as outdoor activities get canceled and rescheduled accordingly due to the rain. And be sure to follow DMV Weather along the way on our website at dmvweather.com and on Facebook and Twitter, as well as on our app at DCMDVA Weather in the Apple App Store and Google Play Store. But remember, whatever the weather outside, have fun and be safe.
Hey, it's May, and it's Maryland Podcast Month. No, Hallmark didn't invent this puppy, so there's no need to get a card, but do yourself a favor and give a listen to some of the other Maryland-based podcasts. Our right-wing friends, hey, they called us liberals first, at Red Maryland have put together a website called MarylandPodcastMonth.com, and it lists all of the podcasts that are participating this month. Throughout the month of May, many of us will be showing up on other Maryland podcasts as guests, and we'll have all sorts of antics throughout the month. Among the participants are Red Maryland and Eye on Annapolis, of course, and then others to cover every topic you can possibly think of. Podcasts such as Quality Time, The Maryland Crabs, A History of Maryland, The Conduit Street Podcast, Laugh Finder, The Extra Point Show, Society Fringe Players, The Mark and Lowell Show, The Engine Mom Podcast, and quite a few more. So go to MarylandPodcastMonth.com, check it out, get familiar with a new podcast near you, and of course, please let all your friends and associates know as well. And we will see you all May during Maryland Podcast Month.
Thanks for listening to the Eye on Annapolis Daily News Brief. If you like what you heard, make sure to tell your friends and colleagues about it. And also tell them about our website, eyeonannapolis.net, where you can find much more. Be sure to check out our other weekly podcast, The Maryland Crabs. This podcast comes to you every Monday through Friday at 7 a.m. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.